welcome to Inside of New England's Therapeutic Talk. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. Hello, I am Candace, and you are watching Inside of New England's Therapeutic Talk. Inside of New England Therapeutic Talk is a YouTube channel that I started up to talk about current events. I talk about therapeutic interventions, I tell stories, and I also have guests come and they talk about things that they are working on. Today I just quickly just talk about something new and that has just happened, which I'm sure everybody is pretty much aware of. We have a new president-elect and a new vice president-elect. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is I think it's really exciting. We have made some historical strides, and I wanted to talk about that. And I also wanted to share a really important message to everybody that I think is really important for us as far as our healing and moving forward during this time. So what I want to talk about is that I have to say, I am extremely excited to have before I even go into this, I want to let you guys know that I have no political agenda here when I'm talking today. What I am talking about is what just currently took place. And I am also talking about human rights. So when I think of what is happening today, as far as us having a new president-elect and new vice president-elect, I am not talking about politics. And I think it's really important that I let everybody know that right now, because I think sometimes people, especially right now today, I think people are getting politics and human rights confused. And the fact that people are trying to have human rights in this country, it really should not have anything to do with politics. However, the candidates that we have within our political parties have access to helping us to have human rights. So I think they're sort of intertwined, but yet I don't think that there's a political agenda when we talk about our basic human rights to live. And when I talk about our basic human rights to live, I am talking about having food, having shelter, having access to health care, not getting harassed by police and murdered by police, and having equal justice systems put in place where there's not a higher number of certain people being incarcerated while other people are not being incarcerated. So that's what I mean by, so those are my concerns. So now on a happier note, which is why I wanted to do this video, and I am really excited that we have made a historical stride. We have our first woman and as a vice president in this country, and our first Black woman as a vice president in this country. And I have to tell you, as a Black woman, I haven't been this happy. I don't know, maybe I'm making a mistake by saying this, but as far as I could, when I first thought about it, I said, gee, I don't think I've been this excited about a woman being in a position since Vanessa Williams was crowned Miss America, because I totally remember that day, and I was so excited to have our first Black Miss America, and then they took her crown away. And that's not gonna happen this time. It better not happen. So I'm just so excited. I'm really happy that our young people And if you haven't listened to her speech, please listen to it. Also listen to Joe Biden's speech, because they were both powerful speeches about uniting everyone. But speaking to girls in our country, and especially Black females in our country, young girls and young boys, right? So she said something about this moment being really important for letting our youth know that they can do it, right? And our youth to be able to do the best that they can, right? And to that they can accomplish these dreams and these goals, right? And do things that maybe they might not be thinking that they can do, but they can do it. And I think that's really important. And I think it's really motivating. And like I said, I don't have a political agenda here, but I do have a moral agenda. And I do think morally that those are important words for our youth, the things that she was saying. And I think as a woman, and also things that that he said last night, but I think as a woman, as a Black woman, I think this is really inspirational. I think it's a wonderful time for us, and I think it's really going to help with the progress that we need to make here. So with that being said, I'm extremely happy and celebrating with everybody else. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. And I don't want to be negative. Sometimes people say, Candace, you're so negative. I'm not negative when I'm saying, what I'm about to say. It's not coming from a negative place. I'm just very realistic. I am really happy. Like I'm extremely excited to see what's happened here. But I am also realistic about what's happening here. And I told a story in the last video about my mom. And I'm going to just share a little bit of wisdom that my dad told me in this video, because I don't want anybody to get jealous, but also it's like, oh, you did a video for your mom, not for me. No. But also when I was thinking about shooting this video, I thought about some things that my dad told me. And so first of all, we have goals. So he always told me, what are your goals? He said, Candy, what are your goals? You need goals. And I didn't really understand this when I was in first grade, but you need to have goals, right? So we always need to have our goals. And I think especially with everything that's happening, we have had goals for our human rights to be taken care of, for our lives to matter. And I think we need to keep those goals in mind. It's wonderful that we have this symbol that we have right now. The leadership that we're going to have will be hopefully it's going to be helpful with getting our goals met. With that being said, another thing my father said along with the goals is don't assume things. So he said, never, ever, ever assume. Never assume. Because when you assume something, you don't know for sure if it's getting done. And so we have goals that need to be met. And they're not political goals. They're goals for us to be able to live a life without fearing that our lives are going to be taken. Basic human rights, right? Basic human needs. you know, the disparities, the institutional racism in this country, right? So the goals and the things that we have been working on need to continue, because we can't, even though it's very wonderful what's happened and everybody's excited and happy, I urge people to not go to sleep. And what I mean by not going to sleep, I mean keeping your eyes open and well aware of what needs to be done and what goals we have already set. People have been petitioning, people have been out there, you know, taking it to the street, and, you know, having vigils and movements are taking place. And I think that needs to continue to make sure that our goals are met, and to make sure that we're not just assuming that someone is just going to come and take care of that for us, because we have to be a part of making sure that that happens for ourselves. And you know, it's not, I think it's wonderful that it was said last night that, you know, we're going to end institutional racism. And I think that's wonderful, but I think that it's going to take longer than 4 years to end something that we've been trying to work on ending for hundreds of years. So I think realistically, it's going to take, like what this was said many times last night, and I have been saying this for a very long time, that we have to be a team. You know, we cannot just rely on one president or one person or one group or one leader or one anything. Like, we have to be a team, right? We have to be a team of humans on the planet Earth that want to have safety and have our basic rights and have our health, because our health is in jeopardy here too. And our planet is at jeopardy, right? I mean, we may not even have a planet in a few years. So today we have the planet ourselves. So let's, you know, keep working towards our goals as a team, because it's going to take a team to build the village that we want, or that we're striving for. And I think, you know, that's what needs to be done here. We need to keep working at this. We need to not go to sleep, stay wide awake, and I mean wide awake, because we have worked too hard and we have suffered too much. And if we want to make sure that our grandchildren, like for me, it's my grandchildren, you know, even my daughter, she's still kind of young, like hoping that they'll have a country or a place where they can live and not be worried about being murdered in the street by police. We have got to stick together. And that's my message today. I am extremely happy for you, Kalana Harris. If you happen to see my video, I am very happy and very proud of you. And you probably will never see my video, but I am very proud of you about the historical strides that have been made. And I am happy and very, I'm happy that we have leadership that actually recognizes that there is a such thing as the institutional racism that is happening here. And I hope that everybody will stay awake, and I hope that everybody is safe. I hope you're well. Stay safe, stay well. I will be hopefully having a couple of guests coming on soon. There might be some new things happening. I don't want to speak upon it until it happens. And so I'm really excited about some of the things that I'm talking with people about doing. And I will hopefully be sharing more stories as well. If you have a story, please let me know. And if you have things that you want to share or anything like that, I am all about everybody being a team and a community. I think that's what's most important here, is that we all recognize that we are all a family, right? A human race of family. No matter where you're from or what color you are or whatever, what language you speak or what gender you are, it does not matter. We are all human beings here on the planet Earth. And until we recognize that, we're gonna continue to have problems. So once we start looking at each other as all being one big happy family as humans, I think we'll feel a lot better. So stay safe, stay well, and may peace and love be upon you at all times. Thank you. Bye. Congratulations to our new President-elect and Vice President-elect. This video is dedicated to my dad.
If you don't see me again, if you don't see me again, nah, 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 nah. I say just remember